Hello Internet, and welcome to another SpeedPaint video. This SpeedPaint features a character that was commissioned to me by one of my friends. They've commissioned me several times in the past, and I always love working on their characters as my friend always has a lot of details in mind, and it always challenges me to go a little bit out of my comfort zone to recreate them. I really enjoyed working on this piece, especially as the character has a lot of quirky details. For example, I love his poofy, messy hair and the character's expression, which is a combination of being like tired and carefree. There's also two versions of this piece. So there's the main one where he's kind of got his outfit in a more casual look, and then there's a masked version where he's a bit more formal. And I really love the outfit change, especially the sort of dressy mask combo. It reminds me of a game that I used to play called Payday 2. Payday 2 is kind of an older game at this point, but it's still one of my favorites. I've probably spent dozens of hours playing. In the game, you're put into teams of 4. It can either be with your friends or with an AI, and each player has their own role. So there's like a tank, a mastermind, stuff like that. And the goal of the team is to pull off heists. So this game expands a lot further than just your typical bank heist. There's one mission I remember in particular where you sort of steal high-end cars and you have to blow up the street and drive through the underground tunnels. That one's always really fun. So the goal of each heist is to either complete it stealthily or you can go loud. Stealthy would be, sneaking around, keeping the hostages under control, taking out surveillance cameras, and then going loud, of course. Masks go on, weapons come out, and pretty much fight off the law while you escape. Overall, I just love heist plots. In the past, I even designed a heist for the players in my Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I made sure every player had their own role that they could pick. I even made a blueprint of the mansion they were going to break into. Everyone kind of scoped out the area before the heist started. And even though I tried to include everyone in the heist, what ended up happening was the rogue carried the whole mission while pretty much half of the party kind of waited in their cart and just watched, which is fine. It was still fun and I would definitely do it again. I'd like to touch on a quick art tip right now. As you can see, I'm using gray for the shading part of this piece. This is usually part of my process, so you'd see it in other speed paints that I do. I picked up on this technique watching other artists, how-to videos, that sort of thing, and using gray in this way kind of helps your eye focus on the values in the shading that might be lost in the colors of the piece. It's sort of easier to neutralize all the colors with this mid-tone gray, and it helps focus on the darks and lights that might be hard to see in the natural darks and lights of the character's palette. I'm not sure if this is a technique that's commonly used for a more painterly style, where this is more common for cel shading. But for example, if I hadn't used it in my process, it would have been more difficult to see the shadows in the hair, as his hair is already extremely dark. Also, it's helpful to use gray for the background while you're working. It's a nice mid-tone that makes it easier on your eyes, as opposed to a blaring white background. If I had used white, I'd probably be squinting to see the details, as white is usually too bright. And that's why I use gray throughout the process and sort of switch to the colored background that I have planned towards the end. Now for a quick update. Unfortunately, my schedule is changing. I'm not going to have as much free time, and as much as I'd like to keep my consistent upload schedule, there will be no guarantees. I'm also working on a large project that might take a while before it's finished. Like I said, I'm losing a lot of free time, and it's going to take effect in about 1 or 2 weeks from now. And that's gonna about wrap it up for this piece. If you are interested in commissioning me for a piece like this, check my description, there will be a link to my commission form there. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.